In Shittest Day and Black-Pilled Night, Jon Stewart is here to bone your wife.
White men have the privilege of being eccentric. White men with money, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Oh, the pain. The pain.
Boy, do I love watching identity politics in my superhero show that has barely any comic book elements. Lanterns is embarrassed to be a comic book show, and even as a detective show, it just sucks.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
The perfect metaphor for this series was when Hal was speeding through the Lantern's Oath just to get it done out of obligation.
Brightest day and blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Similarly, Lantern speeds past the comic elements as fast as possible to focus on miserable characters that are nothing like the comics, mystery box storytelling, terrible dialogue, and blunt inserts of
the message.
It throws comic book elements on screen and then yanks them away. Look, Hal is wearing his suit that looks like a mini fridge. Look, he went to an alien prison off-world. Look, it's Sinestro. Look, the girl boss cop is from Gotham. There, are you happy, you stupid fucking nerd? Now back to what really matters.
Hey, how's your white man?
Also, the Lantern looks like a butt plug. Who the hell designed this crap? Unfortunately, this is pretty unsurprising once you realize that Damon Lindelof, the genius writer of the Watchmen and Name Only show, Star Trek 2009 and Into Darkness, Cowboys and Aliens, Prometheus, World War Z, and Tomorrowland, is the showrunner. Wow, what an impressive list of garbage slop, buddy. Way to go.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
It also makes a lot more sense once you realize he's from the Bad Robot Crew, aka J.J. Abrams' bullshit mystery box storytelling cult.
What are stories but mystery boxes?
I can't wait for this mystery to be dragged out to death over 7 episodes, and what's even more exciting is that all of my investment is dead because they killed Hal Jordan, and he's dead.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Real quick, if you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. Now back to the video. And on that note, let's take a look at the New Hollywood Reporter article that came out yesterday, where Lindelof gives one of the most brain-dead, arrogant takes I've ever seen, that adaptations should not respect the source material, and that fans should get over their attachment to said source material.
Sheer fucking hubris.
And I quote, Lindelof added, as a consumer and as someone who's making this stuff, there's almost a responsibility to take risks. I don't think anybody wants to see you be completely and totally vigilant to the source material, because then it isn't an adaptation at all. Shouldn't we be beyond this conversation by now?
What, are you retarded?
I don't know, Damon. Shouldn't you be able to write a good story by now after 2+ decades in the entertainment industry? I guess not.
You're awful.
I'm really sick of creatives in Hollywood using a popular name of an IP to push some completely foreign story that has nothing to do with the source material it's based on. Why do people who don't like comics, and more broadly, genre storytelling, seem to constantly hate the thing they're supposed to adapt and constantly get the job to adapt that thing in the first place when they obviously fucking hate it?
It's a joke. It's all a joke.
This show is clearly fucking doomed, but since I promised to follow this series through, let's talk about the diarrhea that is episode 2 of Lanterns. Episode 2 is more of the same Hal and John bickering and being miserable to watch, and if you're gonna make a mature show, quote unquote, maybe focus on complex themes, adult issues, and interpersonal relationships. Instead, this show's idea of mature is swearing every 2 seconds and showing alien cock and balls.
Daring today, aren't we?
Hal is still an arrogant asshole, John is still a charisma vacuum who spends half the episode fighting with Hal and the other half trying to bang somebody's grandma.
Stick your dick in a blender.
The girl boss police chief continues to exist for the sole purpose of talking down Hal and John. Macon is still I hate aliens with a cowboy hat, and the supposedly fascinating mystery surrounding the Manhunter already feels like it's pointing a giant arrow at the lot lizard grandma who hates white men that John can't seem to get away from.
I smell shit!
It's gonna be so fucking funny in the worst way possible when the big reveal is that the woman Macon loves is secretly the alien he spent his entire life hating. She'll turn out to be the Manhunter, of course, but she won't really be evil. She'll just be misunderstood, sympathetic, and I'm sure the show will somehow find some convoluted way to justify her killing innocent people.
You can bet on it.
Cause in a show where your superheroes are kinda assholes, what really is right and wrong at the end of the day?
The world may never know.
And I guarantee the Guardians, the big space police metaphor hanging over this entire story, will eventually be revealed to be the real villains. They probably framed Hal as a conspirator, manipulated Anton and his alien friends into hunting the Manhunter, and this entire conspiracy is really about covering up their crimes. And if that's where this is going, think about what that does to the Green Lantern Corps as a concept. The institution itself will be a problem. The Guardians are corrupt, the Corps is their enforcement arm, Hal is their discarded fall guy, and the supposed killer they're hunting down will actually be another victim of the system. So the heroes become the villains, the villain becomes the victim, and the entire mythology gets filtered through this incredibly obvious allegory about corrupt policing, immigration, prejudice, and institutional power, and who deserves to wield it.
Oh, okay.
This isn't some clever subversion. It's complete bastardization of the source material, and that's exactly what Lindelof set out to do, clearly.
Great job, everyone. Great job.
Now let's get into some plot holes, lore issues, and just plain bad writing throughout the episode. Why the fuck did Hal forget the lantern at home? Is he stupid?
Fucking idiot.
Why does John run into oncoming traffic to escape his captors instead of, I don't know, running off the road into a neighborhood? How does Girl Boss Cop know about Sinestro and Hal's history with him if he specifically said he didn't want to talk about it? You really think Hal just blabbed about those intimate details in a tell-all interview? How the hell is Macon within his rights to shoot Hal for trespassing? Nebraska state law, as I looked up, says you have to be a dangerous threat. You can't just shoot someone who you're arguing with who just so happens to barely be on your property line. How does Sinestro know about John Stewart if he's trapped in prison? Does he have a spy? Why is John divulging secrets about their investigation to Lot Lizard Grandma when they're looking for a manhunter in disguise and, I don't know, she could be the fucking manhunter?
I don't know.
How does John maintain the bird construct even when he doesn't have the ring, is unconscious, and can't even manage to do something as basic as fly when he actually has the ring on? Yes, John was able to do this in the comics, but he was decades into being a Green Lantern and was imbued with New God's powers. John in this show struggles to make basic constructs, and it just doesn't make any sense that he can do this. The Manhunters are devoid of emotion and are basically Terminators. How the hell does it have the emotional intelligence to blend in as a human? There's like one story in 50 plus years of lore where the Manhunters are actually shapeshifters, so miss me with that, oh, it's in the comic shit. That's the exception, not a rule. And now we know, thanks to Anton and his men, that a Manhunter is hiding in Rushville. Maybe I'm mistaken, but can't the Lanterns just use the ring to scan everyone's anatomy and be done with this whole investigation?
Well, it's funny you should, see the George, they're onto us!
To wrap this up, the ultimate problem with Lanterns so far is it doesn't feel interested in examining Green Lantern. It feels interested in deconstructing Green Lantern before it ever bothered constructing it in the first place. We haven't gotten to see Hal Jordan as the legendary hero before he's turned into a disgraced asshole and killed off. John is becoming jaded right in front of our eyes before he even has the ring. The Green Lantern Corps itself is barely even a presence in the show, and the only fantastical elements besides brief flying sequences, a space prison, and some constructs are aliens that only appear in human form.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
You have to establish something before tearing it apart. You have to present traditional takes before you can present an alternative, more subversive one. That's what makes this entire approach so frustrating. Green Lantern has an enormous universe filled with cosmic wars, bizarre alien civilizations, different lantern corps, just a ton of awesome mythology, and somehow we've taken all of that and turned it into miserable people driving around Nebraska arguing about a murder mystery while the writers beat us over the head with the most obvious political allegories imaginable. And if my prediction is right, we'll eventually learn that the evil alien wasn't really evil, the supposedly heroic institution was actually corrupt, Hal was framed, Macon learns a valuable lesson about prejudice, and John discovers that blindly enforcing the rules makes him part of the problem.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
The insertion of modern social and political issues in my DC Comics show really doesn't help with my suspension of disbelief. Based on Lindelof's track record and these first 2 episodes, I don't have much reason to give the writers the benefit of the doubt that somehow this series is miraculously gonna turn around, because Lanterns continues to feel like a show that wants to use Green Lantern's characters, mythology, and name recognition while simultaneously acting embarrassed by almost everything that makes Green Lantern Green Lantern. And that's why Lindelof's comments about adaptation bother me so much. Yes, adaptations can take risks, but changing something isn't automatically clever, mature, or brave. You can't tear apart the mythology people love when you never set it up in the first place, and even then you can't come off as hateful and dismissive in regards to the source material. So far, what do we have to work with in this show? A bargain bin true detective mystery, miserable characters, mystery box bullshit, a dead Hal Jordan, a Green Lantern Corps seemingly being positioned as corrupt, and a superhero show that seems desperate to spend as little time being a superhero show as humanly possible. Lanterns is devoid of the heroicism, optimism, and inspiration that defines the original comics, and the only thing inspiring me to continue watching is to roast this abysmal dog shit every week it comes out. Thank you so much for sticking with the video this long. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts. Is there anything that actually makes you want to watch the next episode? I really want to hear your thoughts. I will be doing reactions for every episode going forward, so tune in each week to hear me roast this absolute crap. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, may the force be with you, always.